Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. My name's William. This is Setta Corsa Competizione, and today I'm going to be driving the BMW M4 GT4. I'm going to give you my initial thoughts on the car, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and whether or not ultimately I think you should invest your time in giving this car a shot, or maybe choosing this car for your GT4 to focus on, or at least dabble in a little bit. Um, I'll have a hot lap for you, and then yeah, the hot lap, so you can kind of listen to the car, get an idea of what it looks like, and then give you my feedback on the way it drives and all that good stuff, as well as going over the um, things that are adjustable in the setup page for you. If you do decide to give this car a try and take it out for a spin, you'll know what you can adjust, what you can't adjust in the setup page, and as far as some of the ranges and whatnot, if you're trying to uh, get an idea for that kind of stuff, so you'll know what you can do to absolutely squeeze every drop of speed out of this beast around the track if you decide to go with it. So we'll go ahead and get on into the hot lap, and then I'll be back with you for my initial thoughts on it. So enjoy. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that hot lap in the BMW M4 GT4. Kind of get an idea of how the car sounds, and just overall the way it looks, and the dash and all that good stuff. You can kind of see what it's about a little bit more. My initial impressions of the car: it feels really good through the wheel. Very nice feedback. I really do like the sound. It's very raspy sounding. I'm sure you could hear Assetto Corsa Competizione just absolutely blows everything away as far as sound is concerned. And being able to compare this car directly to iRacing, having driven the same car in iRacing, it sounds way better. The feeling on the driving, in my opinion, is way better as well. Um, Now, if the racing can kind of get on par, there might be some serious competition there. But um, ACC is definitely, as far as the driving is concerned, the sounds and the way it feels, very good in my opinion. This car was also a lot of fun to drive once I kind of understood what it was wanting from me. So it's really fast on the aggressive preset compared to the other cars I've driven in the straights. You can see the time here. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. It's not too relevant unless But if you're wanting to compare everything aggressive preset compared to the other cars I've driven so far, it is in the 205s, but it is very fast on the straight. So I was looking at like 6 mile an hour more than some of the other cars I've driven. Even some of the other cars I've driven that I've felt fast in the straight lines, I'm still going like 4 miles an hour faster. But this car definitely does suffer under the brakes. It lets you know it is a big old BMW whenever you stomp on that brake pedal. But it does feel really nice getting on the brake pedal. You can kind of feel the car wiggling around as it gets onto ABS and everything. Um, and some people have said that the cars just feel like they're on top of the track. You can kind of feel that occasionally. It kind of shows up in every sim, but this car, in my opinion, it was really giving me proper feedback as to what the car was doing, and um, more importantly, I think it definitely felt alive, which is really nice and something that is pretty rare and sought after in Sims, at least in my opinion. It definitely felt like I was really trying to like wring the neck out of a race car, which um, I mean that's where the fun is in it for me, anyways. So a thumbs up for me on the BMW all the way around. We'll go ahead and take a look at the setup here so you could just kind of take a look at what is adjustable and what isn't adjustable. So this car, no adjustable caster. Everything else on here you can adjust, which is nice, just no adjustable caster. It's not really a big thing to take away. You do get a couple different traction control settings. I was running it on one, as that's what you get with the aggressive preset. It honestly, unless you're on like a really green track or a wet track, one super manageable. The car would kind of get a little bit of wheel spin, but super manageable. Felt like it had a lot of grip still. And the ABS settings, you get two, one, and off. With the Audi, I only got one setting, and I really wasn't happy with that. But with this BMW, this works. Only having two settings, it's really, really tricky on cold tires, cold brakes. Uh, but once everything comes up to temperature and pressure, I mean, it's still manageable on cold tires and cold brakes. It really lets you know you have no temperature in your brakes and no temperature in your tires. But once it gets kind of sorted out, it feels uh, really good in all honesty. Like I said, you can kind of feel whenever the car gets into ABS. It doesn't stop the best. I think if it had more ABS settings, you could probably run it a little bit more aggressive and get a little bit better braking performance, but it doesn't really feel like it's interfering with your braking as badly as the Audi did for me anyways. So thumbs up there as well. I mean, it would be better with more, but for what it is, it does feel pretty good. No adjustable ECU maps, so go fast mode all the time. Um, Once again, kind of some limited settings here. Only a few for the anti-roll bars and as well as the wheel rates. It looks like you get 3 on the wheel rates, front and rear. Um, Pretty stiff as well compared to some of the other cars, which is kind of interesting. But it is a bigger, heavier car, so that does make a little bit of sense. You do have adjustable bump ranges and bump rates as well. Um, and then the more traditional preload differential range of 10 to 80 on this car. So uh, more of the normal here on the dampers, no adjustable fast bump, fast rebound, just bump and rebound for the front and rear, as you can see there. And then on the aero side of things, ride height, a good 20 millimeters of range on the front and 25 millimeters of range on the rear. No splitter. Obviously, you can adjust your brake ducts front and rear. I did notice this car was getting a lot of heat into the rear brakes, even on this 4 setting for the brake ducts, so maybe not the best rear brake cooling on the car, just something I kind of noticed. Found it pretty interesting. Typically, you are kind of lowering this down to keep heat in the brakes, especially at this track with some of the longer straightaways, but the rear brakes were actually pretty much in the operating zone the entire time on that setting, so just something interesting there. And on the rear wing, you got 5 settings as well. So we were running this on, like I said, the aggressive preset, which has it on 2 wing and like no rake and all that stuff, trying to like get the rear wing out of the airflow. But um, super fast and It was really fun to drive, at least in my opinion. It's one of those bigger cars. I know BMWs make some properly sporty cars, but compared to something like a 718 Cayman or a McLaren 570 or the Audi R8, like this car doesn't quite seem as much like a race car, so it is kind of fun to bomb it around and actually be going faster in some situations on the track in something like this. So, thumbs up for me on the BMW. I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, give the video a like. It does help me out a ton. We'll be back for another car before too long. So, if you want to see a next car, check it out. I'm going to be going through all of them. So, I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.